To get an accurate reading, it's very important to take your blood pressure correctly. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On this space, it's all about health and beauty. We talk about tips on how you can live a healthier life. On this episode, I'll be teaching you how to check your blood pressure accurately. So please watch till the end. So this is what the blood pressure monitor looks like. It consists of two parts, the machine itself and the cuff. There are also two types of blood pressure monitor. The manual one, that's the one that usually used in the doctor's office, the pump, and we have the automatic one. Here I'll be talking about the automatic one. Although in recent times, hospitals and doctors now use the automatic one because it's easier to use. So the very first thing to look out for when purchasing a blood pressure monitor is the size of the cuff. The cuff has to properly fit for your measurements to be accurate. If you're on the bigger side, you would have to go for a cuff that is bigger. Blood pressure monitors come in different sizes. Their cuffs come in different sizes. So always ask questions and make sure you get one that will fit around your arm perfectly. If it's not perfectly fitted, you won't get accurate measurements. Once that is sorted, the next thing we want to make sure is that the batteries are inserted properly. Now the BP monitors, some of them are electrically operated, while the most common ones are battery operated. So all you need to do is insert your batteries properly and boom, you are good to go. Most of them come in 4 batteries. Just make sure you read the manual properly so you know how many batteries you'll be needing for yours. Once the batteries are well placed, cover properly and connect the cuff to the machine. Now that the machine is ready, you will have to sit in the chair and rest for 15 minutes. Now you have to make sure that the chair you are sitting on has a backrest so you can conveniently rest your back. You also have to make sure that your feet is resting flat on the floor. You also want to make sure that the chair you are sitting on has an armrest or a table right beside you. Now rest your arm on the armrest or on a table beside you and make sure that the cuff levels with your heart. Wear the cuff properly, making sure it levels with your heart. Wrap it around while making sure it is firm. Also ensure that the cord points downwards and not upwards. Once you're in a comfortable position, press the start button on the machine. Do not talk or move while taking measurement. At this point, you will feel the machine working. You'll feel compressions on your arm and then a release. During this process, you would see the figures on the machine ascending and descending until it eventually comes to a stop. Now that's the first reading. Then you rest for 1 minute before you take the second reading. You're supposed to take 3 consecutive readings per measurement, while giving 1 minute interval between each reading. Yes, now this is the second reading. So you're supposed to take 3 of these readings and then you can get the average of these 3 readings. Some monitors are capable of storing these readings on their memory, while some are not. So if you have one that cannot store these readings, you have to get a book and a jotter to take down these readings every day. But if you have one that can store, some of them can store as much as 60 readings, while some can store as much as 100 readings in their memory. So when you finish taking your reading and you press this button right here, you can see the readings you have taken over a period of time. For some machines, you even have memories for 2 people. So 2 people can conveniently use the machine while it's storing their readings on different memory. So if you are person 1, you go to person 1, shift it to person 1, and just keep pressing that button to see the readings you have taken in the past so you can make comparisons. Please note this: avoid doing exercises, taking alcohol, or smoking 30 minutes prior to taking your blood pressure measurements. Generally, avoid doing anything that would raise your blood pressure slightly. What I usually advise is get up from bed, take a rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and take your blood pressure measurements before doing anything at all in the morning. Another thing that you need to know before you purchase a blood pressure monitor is that there are monitors that come with light indicators. These indicators tell you when your blood pressure is high. So even if you're not familiar with the figures and you see the light indicator pop up when you check your blood pressure, just like this, you know that your BP is high. Now let's talk about the values. If you're going to know how to check your blood pressure accurately, then you should be familiar with the values. So you know when it's high, when it's low, or when it's normal. Blood pressure is measured using two numbers. The first number, called the systolic blood pressure, measures the pressure in your arteries when your heart beats. The second number, called the diastolic blood pressure, measures the pressure in your arteries when your heart rests between beats. The normal range for the systolic blood pressure, which is the first number or the upper number, is less than 120 millimeter mercury. If your systolic blood pressure reads between 120 and 139, it doesn't mean it's high, but it's called pre-hypertension, which means you may be at risk of hypertension. So at that point, you should take your exercises seriously, dietary modifications, and other lifestyle modifications to tame your blood pressure. If your systolic blood pressure reads above 140 millimeter mercury, then you should go see your doctor immediately because it could be hypertension. Now, the diastolic blood pressure. This is the second number or the lower number. The normal range is less than 80 millimeter mercury. If it's between 80 and 89 millimeter mercury, it's termed as pre-hypertension. It could mean that you are at risk of hypertension and you have to engage in lifestyle modifications such as exercises, dietary modifications, and all of that. If your diastolic blood pressure is above 90 millimeter mercury, then this may be termed as hypertension and you want to see your doctor immediately. I hope you found this video helpful, and I also trust that after this video you'll be able to check your blood pressure accurately like a pro. If you found this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up, share to friends, and do not leave without subscribing. Also, let me have your questions in the comment section below, and if you have a topic you want me to treat in my next video, leave it in the comment section below. Bye. Thanks for watching.